All right, hello everybody. I think we're live. And welcome to another Saturday. Hopefully, you had as good as of a week as it can be, and hopefully the weekend is better than than what's outside my window right now. We're under like a little snowstorm happening. So yeah, well, let's as usual get to it with some of the updates from this past week. It was a lot of kind of back end work that I was looking into, and a lot of it was around like weapons and how they um, the kind of the animations behind it, like the firing, the reload, and trying to make that work within the this advanced locomotion framework that I'm using. So let me show you a little bit of I got kind of the rifle done, and just to show you what I'm looking at. So what's going on here? So picking up the rifle is just like before, equipping it. Now the the things that are worked, of course, they're probably not going to be visible as far as um, as big changes, but I was trying to focus mostly on like the mechanics. So you've seen this before, where you like kind of just move the weapon around, and of course, there's like the ADS. And like just the regular firing, the ADS firing. Now, the other thing that this was like the main thing that I was trying to work out is ALS has this, it's already a pretty complicated system, but when it comes to using montages, I wasn't able to work it out so well. So right now, it's based on states. So like the weapon state itself at the moment is just in an idle state. Now, if I was to enter into this state, which is a reload state, right, you can't do anything else with the weapon while in that state. If you're in ADS, then you're like in an ADS state. And also, if you're like in an inspection state like this, um, that's this is a state that can be interrupted at any time. So for example, if I was to shoot and do this and then recharge or reload, sorry, it would go into that reload state. Yeah, so that was kind of a lot of back end work that going through the ALS system and trying to figure out the best way to do it, going between like either using montages or using these states. So so that way I can control the animations in the animation blueprint instead of doing it in the weapon. And I was kind of debating between that because there is the doing it in an animation montage. So in the animation montage is locked to the weapon, but at the same time is locked to a skeleton. So if I might have multiple skeletons in the game, well then how do I set up the same weapon to have different montages based on the skeleton? So I decided to, and plus the animation montages weren't working properly for me, and that's why I decided to go with um, the the um, the animation states. So within the animation blueprint. Okay, and aside from that, this weapon you might notice it like what I used to have before is this kind of like an AK-47 that looks a little bit dingy, just didn't which didn't have the animations. So this luckily came on the recent sale, so I got it for a bargain. Where the kind of the inspection, as I was showing you earlier, this these animations are already in place. Like the reload is also working out okay. The rifle itself is a skeleton, so that's also pretty good. And what I did end up doing is also retexturing it because I wanted to be a little bit more, well, I want to say unique, but the original asset was, had some branding on it, and I just wanted to make it a little bit more basic. So this one was done as we previously seen with Quixel. So here's the weapon itself. What I ended up using is the normal coming from the original developer, and that's pretty much it. So I went about creating like a um, an ID mask for this in Substance Painter, and then just went about texturing it. The one thing that sometimes is, I wouldn't say frustrating, but it's a little bit annoying, is not being able to see how exactly it's going to look in Engine because, you know, the different lighting scenarios. I get that. So in the Engine, I ended up for this one, I ended up using a different um, just setting up the roughness power and the roughness a little bit differently, just adjusting the values. All right, so that's kind of the update from the kind of the weapon sides combat. Now the other update that I was working on is mainly around how the kind of the missions and the um, the details with the compass are displayed to the player. So you probably remember before I used to, you would press Q and you would pull up that tablet and you would see like the current mission and directions to it. And I kind of started thinking that this is a little bit cumbersome, and it just didn't, I didn't really like it, 100%. So what I changed it to is if you there's like those kind of head-mounted displays, and so let's take a look at how that is. And with that, I'm also going to show you a little bit of the update on the missions and the AI. So when you interact with our first little character here, the gaps in the shoulders are because I'm using a lower um, version of the LODs for the player. That way, just trying to keep it a little bit more performant when it comes to these metahumans. All right, so you remember, you pick up the device. Now, when you equip it, like before, it was just being held in your hand. So now what happens is um, I'm probably going to change the actual device that gets handled to like a set of headphones that's got this thing that you can like swing in front of you, and you can like hide it or unhide it. So now, yeah, so you can actually, at this point, you can just, use a weapon and kind of go about your business. I'm still debating on the size of the device, maybe make it a little smaller, but you might have, and of course, maybe also make it a little bit transparent. So you've probably seen like in a number of movies, like the little, if you think of like that Google Glass thing or one of those things that um, or like a microphone or something that would you can like lower and remove from view. So that would be basically the same thing. You can like you can hide it, and that way your left hand is free, and also it's not something that you have to hold it down. Like a button that you have to hold down. Yeah, so as far as the missions, let me just clear this one out because it's still, I've completed that mission already, so that's why it's not being displayed. And one second here. Let's see, where is that? Remove. Saved game. All right. So that way I can show you how the mission is shown. I mean, there's no difference from before, but why I kind of I'm leaning towards this method of conveying the missions. All right, so pick up the device, then it shows, and you can see, it's like Dr. Jane, and it's still it's pointing to Unfortunately, not to the right person, but this is how it would look when you have this. And of course, you can see the inventory a little bit better as well. So now, for example, I have um, the pistol that's being picked up, so you can like equip it and see exactly which one's which, right? As far as your mini inventory. And yeah, so now whenever you get to Jane, which in this case is this, you'd be um, led on to the next mission in the dialogue. Unfortunately, this is pretty I need to update the UI. It's there. Hopefully you can see it. So this this is also kind of a dialogue from that. So this is when she's handing you the bow, and of course, just like you can equip it and go on with the first mission. Or in this case, I would say like that would have been the first mission to meet this guy, and then he's gonna give you the tablet, and you're gonna have the first mission to meet up with Jane. And yeah, so that was pretty much what the update was about. Mainly was around this what I'm trying to do with the new setup for the display. I think it's a little bit easier to also read. I might position it a little bit differently. And right now, yeah, it's a mesh. So I kind of like the idea of having it as a mesh because once you press Q, there could be like a small animation to kind of remove it out of view. So it'd give you that kind of physical type of interaction. And yeah, so those were some of the updates from this week. I hope it makes sense for you guys as well. I was the main thing is the way to display the kind of the missions and the compass to the player. Uh, I, I I think it might work a little bit better than having to press and hold down a button to look at that. Uh, and in this case, you just press the button, that thing kind of lowers, and you can see it all the time. Or you press it again, and it gets removed from view. So I'm gonna go with that at the moment. I think it's a little bit easier to use, and like I said, the main thing is when I was playing through it and trying to see how it works with pressing Q or tab to pull up the display. One thing that was annoying was the animation, to grab the tablet. The other one was if you're in combat, it would look a little weird to um, to have one of your arms kind of reaching back and pulling up the tablet. So it was it just I'm not sure. I didn't like it too much. So with this one, I'm still trying to keep UI minimal, but have something show. And yeah, so I'm thinking as far as the device itself, I might remove that. And let me jump into game mode real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. So, and also kind of how that is positioned. Hey, Alanika, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? All right, so when you would press Q, this thing would show up in here. So let me exit out of game mode. So basically, this is how it would look. And what my thought is to either turn this into like a UI, like an actual UI element, so like a widget. On the other hand, I like it as a 3D object because, like I was saying, you can move it out of the way, or hey, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Like I'm doing. Hopefully, you're doing good too. We have a snowstorm over here, and I think we've got about a foot of snow already. So for people not measuring in feet, that's what about 30 centimeters? Riley, hey, how you doing? I am using metahumans for NPCs, but I'm using them sparsely. So like I'm using them for NPCs they're gonna interact with. So it's not, and that's why you would see like these guys, the shoulders are not joined together because I have them on a lower LOD. So that way, kind of less bones are ticking, trying to get uh, trying to get um, some more optimization out of it. But yeah, these guys, NPCs that are going to be interactable and you're going to talk to are going to be metahumans. Some of the other ones that are just going to be NPCs that are going to be, filling the space, so to speak. They're not going to interact with either sleeping or you're like kind of on the sidewalk. Those are just going to be like your regular skeleton. Uh, Ohio weather, yeah. If you don't like it, just wait 10 minutes. I got you. Yeah, exactly. Hisham, hey, how you doing? What are you gonna do about it? What do you mean? And Gitish, hey, welcome. How are you doing? Yes. So, as I was saying, to anybody that's just joined, this was also part of the work, with the weapons and kind of just like inspecting. It's kind of just an interesting little thing, and then reloading as usual. It's a little bit tougher with ALS because and that's why I went with the route of doing it in the animation blueprint instead of a montage because it never really worked out so well with the montages. Like if you're like pointing down or pointing up, it's um, um, it's really the animation doesn't sync the montage itself doesn't work as well as the animation itself does. So I'm not sure why it's ALS is a complete monster when it comes to this. It's very complex. Um, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there's not going to be anybody. I mean, most of them are just going to be like this with like upper body clothing and this guy. I was cleaning up some of the clothing that we generated in a previous stream, and that's why he's naked at the moment. But yeah, no, they're not going to be like this. They're all going to have some sort of an upper body um, clothing. Oh, that's good. That's good. Doing good. Doing good. I'm doing good too. It's been a busy week with but I did manage to work on a few things. Um, I'm not sure if you remember also from a while back there was I was playing around with this climbing, and this is another thing that I worked on. And like you can climb, from point to point, but when you're at the bottom, I wasn't able um, to leave the bottom point unless I jumped. But now you can actually just press, the back key, and it would like disconnect from it. So basically, it's all based on like input. So yeah, that's another thing that I kind of another fix that I worked on. Okay, so I think those were the main updates that I wanted to share with you guys. Hey James, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so mainly, like I said, this week was around this, trying to deal with the weapons and like the animations behind them, and decided to go with the animation state instead of the montages for um, for reloading, for checking the weapon. Different weapons could have different behaviors. And on some regards, like I said, the main reason was I was trying to pep myself up. Oh well, just that I am a weapon is not reliant on a specific skeleton for like the for whoever's like using the weapon. It's just conveying a state back um, to animation blueprint. And at that point, the animation blueprint could be like, for a four-legged, for a five-legged creature, 10-legged creature, or whatever, um, with a different weapon that's also of a rifle class. So, anyways, I'm just, uh, trying to generalize it. But hey, Chrysaurus, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Yeah. So, yeah, that's some of the updates. There was, I think, um, it was kind of a lot of work around animations, and I'm rambling on about that, but it's a really fun subject, but also very complex, I have to say. And ALS is really powerful, but yeah, it takes some digging into. So yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. I was kind of thinking for the rest of the stream to I I was actually looking at some of the uh to refresh my memory, when it comes to texturing assets. I was looking through a tutorial I made a while back for Mixer, and there was a comment there as somebody was asking if there could be a little bit more Mixer um, work being shown. And while I haven't done any new tutorials, maybe we can do some here and add a little bit more details to this rifle. And hopefully that's okay with you guys. And if you'd like to see something else, let me know. But since this is something that I've just textured today, I was thinking of continuing and adding some, excuse me, some more details to it. So yeah, the main thing, the original textures, let me start there because they were really well made. It just I wanted to make the rifle a little bit more, I don't know, like pertaining to this game, and make the the textures unique. Well, at least I wouldn't call it unique, but not use what probably other people would be using. So let me show you what the original material and textures look like. And they probably look better than what I have here, but bear with me. I'm not uh, a really, I mean, I do okay, but I'm not very uh, professional when it comes to texturing things. So let's take a look at how it used to look. All right, so this is the new textures that I have for this, and let me apply the old, like the original material. So let's see, where do I have that? Okay, so this is the original material, and this is how mine looks. Of course, it's professional dude versus a hacker, hackish type of work. But yeah, the main thing with this one was that especially on this side, there's like a lot of these kind of brandings that, if somebody was to play the game, okay, this is a pretty generic rifle, but if somebody was to play the game, um, they, this one, this asset might be used in other locations as well. So I was thinking, okay, well, I want to retexture it just to make it, not look like um, something that some guy might see it somewhere else. So that's why I decided to go about and retexture it. And but the good, the nice part about this is that especially on this side, there is some branding that is usually, put on weapons, and it does add a little bit interesting kind of wear around where the text is. And that's what I was thinking to add um, to my weapon here. And in order to do that, it's actually pretty cool, and that's why I looked at the the previous tutorial that I've made just to refresh uh, my knowledge of Mixer. And what's cool is I've probably shown you in the past, you know, that you just put a bunch of layers, and when you have the an ID map, you can just select what surface that particular, like in this case, this parkerized steel would go on, or you know, like a type of rubber. And it's ideal to have this paint layer underneath because if without this, some of these would like, I'm not sure if it's a mixer bug or what it is, but sometimes these don't these ID map selections don't really work as expected, at least for me. So now having the solid layer here, actually not a solid layer, sorry, but a paint layer on the bottom section. When you add another, when you start painting, like in this case, it'd be like the text or some kind of like a serial number or something like that. When you add that in, you can see that the wear is applied from whatever's above it because each one of these, like for example, let's see, where's the edge grunge? So there's that. Each one of these is going to look at the underlying mix and apply that that wear. So now if I was to have something that is more like a serial number or like a brand or something, um, it would that would be applied here. And for that, what I'm going to do is, whoops, I did not want to do that. Since I don't use this too much, sometimes the shortcuts are kind of throw me off. But let's add a little bit of branding here. I'm not entirely sure what to add for text, and also like a serial number around here and there, and we'll see how that works. All right, so let's add a paint layer. The only trouble when it comes um, to Mixer is that it's a little tough to get. Well, not tough, but you need to like import things into here, into these brush presets. And I'm usually kind of having difficulty figuring out how to do that. It's not as straightforward. I wish it was a little bit more straightforward, um, like Substance Painter is. But but yeah, unfortunately, this mixer seems to be abandoned by Epic slash Quixel. I wish that was not the case, but we'll see. All right, so in here, let me see what can we find online as Atlas. I'm not sure exactly what text would fall under if there is anything like that. Not surface, brush maybe? Let's see, brushes, damage, grunge, leakage, traditional. Yeah, so see, this is how you would get a brush in there. The only problem is there's a lot of just like graffiti or not so much like a technical type of surface. I wish there was an option which is awesome in Substance Painter where you can add text, like actual text. This is, again, you just add like a little, uh, you know, like for example, this one. If I was to grab this one, they look cool. I mean, I'll give it that. But let's see, is it in here? There we go. So it got imported into here, but and once you add it, you know, it's very nicely applied and all that, but yeah, the problem is that it just doesn't um, you know, you won't see that on a on a weapon, right? And that's why it would have been nice to be able to do text. Hey James, yeah, I love mix. I love it too. I mean, the the textures and the generators are really nicely done, but the problem is that there is um, no proper option for the text. And I wish there was something for that, but unfortunately there isn't. Now I want to keep it, uh, 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 do this inside of Mixer because Painter is a paid solution, so maybe some people don't have Painter. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and actually generate that that brush. Now I'm not sure. The one thing that I'm not entirely sure about is um, how that's going to look. You know, like you can create text, um, and you can you can create text in like a Photoshop type tool. GIMP is a free tool. I have a really old version of Photoshop that I keep on using, and I'm probably going to use that to create the text. Now, the one thing that I'm not entirely sure is, and that might be a little bit of a kink in our attempt today, is how do I get the image created in is it was I able to import custom asset? Oh, maybe that's how okay, that's how I did it. I could not recall how I went about doing that. So let's go I'm gonna fire up Photoshop here and I'll create some text and get that into Mixer. James, Substance I had in 20. Yeah, well, so mine expired. I had a 2018 version, and that's that's what I'm using, and it's totally fine. I uh, I still use it. It works out pretty good. Uh, it does exactly what I needed to do. Like baking and even some texturing. I actually tried to texture this in Painter, but some of the generators and some of the procedural materials they don't look as realistic as in Mixer. So that's why I like Mixer. As far as their materials, I think their materials are their kind of smart materials look better than the ones in Substance Painter. All right. Well, so in here, what I need to do, I believe, we need to have, let me see, I'm not sure if I've done this before actually. I think it might need to be white on black here as far as the text, if I was to use text. So let's try that out, see how it works. Um, So Cursor the Quixel Mixer seems like a nice tool, but I have a question compared to traditional materials created in a 3D software. How fast can we do it in Mixer? Just as fast. I don't see why you couldn't. And I mean, if I can show you real quick if you're interested. Let me just do a little bit of I don't know, like I'm gonna try and do like a serial number here. So just put in some like random numbers. All right, now the only thing about this is, let's see the font. What do I have for fonts here? I'm not entirely sure what, okay, this is not too bad. So I'm gonna try, see how something like that would look for, for a, an alpha. And I'm also thinking what I'm gonna do is in here, I'll also add a couple of more just so that I'm not sure, maybe call this, some kind of like a label type of thing. We'll see how it turns out. So can it generate ambient occlusions? Yeah, that's you can't bake in Mixer, and that's the only, or you can? I'm not sure. James, I'm guessing like if you um yeah, well, so Cursori, you can export an ambient occlusion after you've added materials to it, but you need a normal first. So for example, if you think of the high poly to low poly workflow, you're gonna need to bake the normal somewhere. But then once you bring it into Mixer and you do all your texturing, smart materials or what have you, I think you can export the ambient occlusion. All right, so I'm gonna try and export this thing that we've just created. So let's see. Export it as maybe a PNG. Rifle label. All right, so now let's import it into here. And this is going to be oh, this is going to be a good one. Is it an atlas? That should be an interesting thing to see how I can import this one. So we got the label. And I don't want anything in here for these ones, for the roughness and okay, let's try as a decal. Nope, that doesn't work either. Oh my God, I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I am bummed out by that actually. Yeah, unfortunately Mixer can't bake. That's the main I think the biggest um, thing that held Mixer back, because that's why a lot of people don't really use it. And you're not able to bake, so you need to have another tool, unfortunately, like say XNormal or something like that, if you want to go the free route, that you can bake things in. So let me see, import a brush into Mixer. So exactly, here's the exact thing that I'm looking for, where you create your things here, but then if you want to import it, oh, that's how you do it. I got it. Okay, I remember it now. Huh. So it's in here. You can load an image. There we go. So now I have this. That was pretty straightforward. So yeah, and on the brush shape, you can actually select it. The only problem with that is I don't think you're going to be able to reuse it, like you would actually import it into the library. So there you go. That's how you would do it. Oh yeah, from that's also that'd be something that'd be something else if you can transfer that. All right, so now that we have this little label here, let's try and paint it. I'm gonna try and paint some here. Whoa, I'm just going to disable that. Okay, I mean it's not looking too bad, but it's got the wear applied around it, which is cool, and that's what I was looking for. But I'm gonna try and see if I can get this placement to be a little bit smaller. Let's see how this is gonna look. Okay, that's already better, I think. Come on, just undo. There we go. All right, so um, yeah, this is a pretty busy surface UVs, so I'm gonna try and keep it on the 3D layer here and see if I can make this work. Let's bring this down a little bit. It's very hard to align this, unfortunately. That's one of the problems sometimes. As you can see, it's not actually, oh yeah, I think it was just the perspective. It looked a little bit off. And angle is 0, spacing. I know there's like a shortcut where you can uh, have these work a little bit better. All right, so for this one, what I'm going to need to do is go back into, I'm going to paint the other one here. So maybe around here for the number. Actually, I'm going to keep this like that. We'll see how bad that's going to look. Actually, not too terrible. All right. And let's go ahead and delete some of the extra stuff, like this part here. And for whatever reason, when you deleting is just, I'm not sure if it relates to my video card, but it slows it down really bad. Hey, Omokal, welcome, welcome. So let's see, trying to delete some of this stuff over here. I'm really not sure. Oh, you know what? I think let me try something. Yeah, there he goes. I think it took so long because it was trying to process the other um, like all the generators and like the edge wear and what have you. So now if I place this back down on the bottom, these are just going to be like indentations and slightly indented into that. All right, so if I was to change this to 4K, it should look a little bit better as well. Hey, Mocha, Helion Linktree, welcome, 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 guys. All right, so it's rendering targets. Come on, old GTX. All right, there we go. Yeah, so that looks decent. I mean, it's I guess it could be a little bit better. Like if I was to, oh shoot, I should have done this. I was trying to see how it would look if I was to also use the base color for it, but I think I'm just gonna keep it at normal. Oh, I never bake AO, yeah. Well, I don't bake AO either because I think I was kind of thinking the engine should take care of it to my knowledge. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and export these. Let's do 4K. We'll see if how it looks. So Mokal, yeah. I'm using MetaHumans for the NPCs that the character is going to interact with. Oh, Cursorius, I had no idea if that AO could affect the, on mobile. All right, well, it's going to be something probably not even too visible on this weapon, but I'm curious to see how it's going to look. All right, so let's take a look at this one, and I'm going to try and re-import the textures. Oh yeah, and of course, because why would it do it the right way? Let me see, where was that? Um, Textures at here. Okay. So let's get the albedo, the metal, the gloss, the normal, and the roughness. I see, I see. Yeah, thank you for the explanation. I had no idea that was the case that way. All right, so there's the base, there's the metal, there's the normal, and the roughness. Okay, so yeah, I guess there is a little bit of something visible there on the edge. It kind of breaks up that flat surface. The other one was right where the hand is, so you're not gonna notice it anyways. I'm guessing when you inspect it, you can potentially see it, like this little. Um, yeah, but I think it should be fine, um, at least for now. Um, the one thing that could be a little bit more to this is just actual decals, is what I'm thinking. So like some simple little, you know, stickers or something on top of this. But I'm wondering if there's anything what would be that way. Let's see. I think they might be on the Atlas. So like some of these damaged stickers or something like that that uh, could be placed on top. Let's see if we can add something like that to it. Um, so it's one of these damaged stickers, or like not. I mean, that's what it's called. Oh, that's interesting, James. That's good to know. All right, so let's see. How can we do with performance? Decrease viewport resolution, maybe. Disable shadows. Hopefully that's gonna make things look a little bit, I'm not sure if it will, but we'll see. Okay, and let's get into layers. We have these damage stickers here. Let's put them right at the top layer there. We'll see how they get placed on top of this. There they go. And let's take a look at the placement. Okay, that's pretty big. I think box projection might work a little bit better. The only problem with this is the placement. So freeform. So that's what I was thinking when it came to like some little decals on top of the gun. Oh, that's interesting. 99% of them don't have AO. And that's since I don't play any mobile video games, that's news. I mean, it's something that I had no idea. So thank you for sharing. All right, let's see how this is gonna look. Though I'm not entirely sure why it looks. It looks pretty low res for this decal there. I'm not sure why that would be. So there's our stickers. All right, let's look into 2D view. I mean 3D view. Yeah, it's pretty tough to get them into place, and with box projection, that was a nice one, but it's hard to position them. Like I'm not entirely sure how you can do that. Like you got this nice, or at least a better placement through projection, but um, let's see, align to model. I haven't played with this placement too much. Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm not really feeling it too much, to be honest. I think it might be easier to just um, to add some kind of like some other, just a single item to it. Um, like a kind of a single graffiti like this. That'd be a lot easier to position that rather than these sticker type of things. Oh, so Cursoris, you're trying to do an open world for mobile? Did did I understand that right? All right, I'm gonna try and position this. about where that text is at. So somewhere around here. Let's see if we can. Because that's pretty much the area that you're going to be able to see the weapon or anything on the weapon. Yeah, so that definitely looks like it could fit in there. The only thing I can't seem to figure out is why the resolution decrease in it. Let's see if I export it like this, if it's gonna, how it's gonna look in Engine. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, how big is the map? I'm kind of curious about it. James, the resolution is 4K. It's because everything else looks great. It's just actually, I'm not entirely sure. Good question. What is the, let's see. Um, so this one, I think I might have downloaded. I think you're right. Oh no, I didn't want to add it. Come on. Um, I think you might be right. I might have gotten it at a low res. Though scaling it down should have helped with that. Let me see. And I'm watching this one. I wish there was a way to like re-download it at a different resolution. Because right now when you click on it, it just adds it to the um, it adds it to the layer stack. And let's see, I'm gonna try and look for graffiti. I'm always pretty bad at spelling graffiti. By feature, by latest. Oh man, this tool could be so awesome if it wasn't abandoned. It could do so many things. Yeah. Let me try and get another one of these and get this at a higher resolution and see if it's gonna look any different in the once I add it. So this one, let's drop to scale. So 0.13. And I'm going to try and position it just like this one. See if it kind of brings it where the other one is. Um, Hisham, I have a question. How can I make it so every time the player gets a specific number of items, it triggers an event like, for example, every 3 coins? Hmm, that's a good question. Um, gets a specific number of an item. Well, I think you might want to set yourself up with some sort of an inventory. because basically kind of that's what you're looking at. Um, every time you pick up an item, check to see what I already have in my inventory for that particular item, and then, okay, well, divide by 3, right? Like you probably need like a modulus of 3. So to make sure that you got, um, 1, 2, 3 of threes. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, so this one looks better. I think it might have been like what resolution I originally downloaded that one at. I mean, not that I like this one, I like something with text, but I wish there was a way um, to re-download this one item. Oh, come on, Epic, you can do this. You can get this. Some developers a few more hours and get this thing done the right. Let me see. Can I find it? Yeah, there's so many of them. Oh, there it is. So this one, I'm gonna try download settings. It's at 4K. Let's try and download it again and see if that changes anything. Well, did it or did it not? Oh, that's a pretty big bummer. Let me try and add it. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's pretty cool. Uh, do you remember what that was, that tool? All right, so let me try doing this again. Freeform. I can't recall if I had any of these close to what it should have been. Yeah, I think getting it at a little higher resolution that might have helped a lot. There you go, something like that. And can we do anything about the height blending? There you go. So we got a little bit, uh, taking into account some of the damage below it. I think it should. It's a little too low. There we go. That's kind of cool. Just so that, adding a little bit more onto that side. Not that this is going to be the last decal, but I wanted to try and see how it would look on top of that area. And yeah, let's go ahead and export this. And of course, one of the things that I am extremely frustrated because every time you export it, it seems to export it with a different ID. Like, why? like you make a change to it. So I think just explore as much as I want to have this in my library. So when I go um, to Bridge, it would be there. I think I'm just going to export it as a, exporting the files it themselves because it's pretty much useless to export it to library from for what it looks like. Um, so let's do it like this. Gonna do a custom export and in there, and I'm not gonna need the displacement or the AO. So let's go ahead and export this. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, I think I've heard of that one. All right, and now I'm gonna bring it back into Unreal with some proper naming instead of those stupid IDs that get generated. There we go. Proper naming, as it should be. All right, so let's apply them here. Metal, normal, and roughness. I'm curious to see how that decal looks just for playing around with it. Oh, hey, yeah, it's not that visible. Only in specific. I guess it's more visible once you inspect it. Yeah, you can see it in that angle. Okay, so for now, I'm happy with that texturing. I might revisit it because I like to go back and change things. Yeah, so I think for the rest of the stream, let's do a little bit more of a visual aspect and uh, work a little bit more, continue the stuff that we've worked on last week around the main level. To do it like the pros, you should make the image exactly to this pixels. Yeah, definitely. That's, people that do that for their full-time job. Yeah, they know that. Uh, that is that. It'd be awesome if you could do that for every single asset you have. But when you have to buy stuff off of the marketplace to cut down on time. Some of them they're not always all going to be the same. The one of the developers, like it's Decagon. Not sure if you guys are familiar with it. I got quite a few assets from them, and I think quality-wise, they're some of the best on the marketplace. And yeah, so and the stuff that I'm referencing is because I've shown it in the previous stream, is that town billboard, and that package comes with also the street signs with the street labels, which was really useful for me. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely worth it. All right. Oh, and I forgot another one of the updates that I didn't mention is I and kind of got brought up last week around the terrain was the amount of layers. So now I'm down to 4 because I kind of cut away some of the layers that I wasn't really using anyways. And I've also the grass is now uh, similar to how the dirt is. Like the dirt is made out of two separate textures, so that to add the variety. And now the grass is acting in a similar fashion. So, and whenever there's like the um, those two separate like that mask that's happening, it's also used to um, for the grasses. As you can see, like I got some areas that have a little bit more of this kind of this weed type stuff, and so it's in patches that way. And now I don't have to to paint, one patch that's got a little bit more of this yellow bush here, and then patches that's got more of like just the grass. Now it's just everything is on one layer, and one uh, terrain material layer. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, just trying to bring down the complexity of that um, of the landscape material. Just trying to bring kind of bring that color from pinkish and more into reddish and kind of dark reddish. And I think now this one, I'm not sure if it's gonna look a little bit better than what it looked like before. Yeah, see, before all of it used to be like a brighter red than this one. So now it's a lot of it is just like this, trying to push it more towards this instead of this way like it was. And yeah, so it's more into like the darker reds. Okay, yeah. So that's another one of the updates. Spend a little bit of time on getting that in as far as the managing that material. So yeah. Um, okay. Well, what I was thinking of doing here is trying to finish off this area where the parking lot is, and also editing this level because this is like a level instance, and it's got a ton of these little tiny small pieces here, and I'd like to not have that. There's quite a lot of individual objects just in this one level, and if I can get away with not having it that way, that'd be great. So let's get to editing this one, and the main thing that I'm gonna do here is remove like the all these individual planes or rectangles here, planes that are for the concrete surface, this asphalt surface. And for that, I already have a little mesh here that I'm using, which is this asphalt. So let's bring that into here. So actually that's a great thought, James. I I'm not sure because um, I'm wondering if you could, once everything is painted, there is the virtual textures. The virtual textures themselves, they do sample the terrain, but yeah, let me know if you mess with that before. I'd be curious. I'm trying to make the terrain as the terrain material as efficient as possible. And at this point, I'm not sure if I can get if I can make it even any more than what it is. But that'd be great if you have some thoughts on that. Really appreciate it. All right, so let's add this in. This would be our concrete surface here. There we go, just like that. All right, and for all these like the edgings, the edging, I guess, yeah, edging. What I'm gonna do is commit the changes for now. I brought that in. I'm gonna use what I'm using here next to this little garage, this little surface. I mean, this little, um, like an AI scatter tool. And with this little cool mesh, and I could add it along here. Hey, Puke, welcome, welcome. Well, we are here, gathered here today. This is a video game called On Your Own, just like the name of the stream, and and it's kind of named very aptly because I'm working on this by myself. So it's a first-person action adventure video game, and you know it starts with with the regular flight sequence, but in this case, you're not really, well, you are sort of crashing, but you can jump out of the airplane in three different locations, and depending on the place that you jump at, you're going to start with a different, you're going to meet some different characters in the beginning and have a different set of missions. So right now I am, kind of working on finishing this level. This is kind of where the main world is, and hoping um, to have one location ready for the kind of the initial like demo release so people can try it out that way. But thank you so much for stopping by and asking. The storyteller, do you use or know Blender? I do. I'm not an expert, but it's I am as my a friend of mine would say, I know enough to be dangerous. So I can make things in Blender, and the the modeling for like um, so we have organic and what is it like? There's like organic modeling and then hard surface. Yeah, so for hard surface, I'm pretty comfortable with modeling pretty much anything, but organic stuff is way out of my comfort. There's really hard to do organic. So whoever does that, those are artists. Thank you so much for asking. And thank you, Bouquet. Yeah. Let me know if you want to see a little bit of, kind of around the world. Um, I can jump into like the test level and show you a little bit of the gameplay as well. Okay, so a scatter tool. So I'm gonna place a little bit of this here and then this mesh so we can create some of these edging for the parking lot like this. Da, 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 da. And let me start with the scale. So everything is at 1. Yeah, that's the difficult part, because um, it involves a lot more talent in how to move your how to move things around and sculpting and all that. So yeah. All right. Well, now let's do spreading. It's going to be at 0, the fixed distance. Let's see what else. Number of instances. And they need to be on a spline. Where is that option? And on a spline down. There we go. And 500, I can't remember what the spacing between them was. Let's take a look. Yeah, yeah, totally. Let me try getting this one in, and I'll jump into game and show you actually a little bit of the first interaction because I have it in this area of the world as well, and maybe a little bit of swimming. Or actually, I'll place a weapon in here as well, so we can play around with that and maybe a couple of enemies. Really basic stuff. But yeah, let me see about this one real quick. Bear with me for just 1 second here. All right, that should be close enough. Yeah, there you go. I can I can model a humanoid robot, but not a human. Yeah, I totally feel you. All right, so let me grab this, commit these changes. Come on. Do I have something else selected? All right, so performance is not going to be like the greatest, but at least I can show you a little bit of stuff around here. Let me put a enemy spawner out here. Maybe another one over here. And let me arm myself a little bit. Where's the rifle? Place that over there. I think that's pretty close to where I spawn. Where is the start? There it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's start. All right, so the only thing that so right now this is just gonna jump. It's in development mode, so it's not with the flight sequence. But I can show you that as well if you like to see it. Like how the flight goes, and then when you get to a jump point, you can jump out of there at that point. You know, you fall out of the plane, and then you wake up, um, and you interact with the first person, and they're gonna give you like your they're gonna give you like a little bit of a like a head-mounted device that you can use for like missions and directions and you know, kind of like the compass type of functionality. Yeah, so let's see. So yeah, you'd be interacting with like the first guy. This, you know, when you fall out of the airplane, this guy would be waving at you. So you know, once you interact, he's gonna give you kind of the initial chat, so to speak, and you know, you get to pick up the device, and when you equip it, it kind of looks like this. It's you know, you'd get like the initial your missions being displayed in there, and you know, you can press Q to hide it, to unhide it, you know, what have you. Let me close some of these other tabs because I have a ton of these open. Maybe it should perform a little bit better. All right, so let me get. I'm hoping the enemies spawned as well. Let me get the rifle. Oh, there they are. Oh shoot, I think I might have collided with, or I forgot, my bad. Uh, yeah, the procedural, being in development mode, the procedural foliage volumes, they somehow generate like overlap events, and I was not able to turn them off. So let me just move these up a little bit so that way, because right now what it's doing, it thinks it overlaps with something, and it tries to pull the arm back, you know, so it doesn't, so the weapon doesn't go through the wall. So let me just move some of these procedural foliage volumes up a little bit. No, I was thinking about that, and I know there is a couple of add-ons, plugins that I think give you that option, but not at the moment. At least I don't have plans at the moment to have any dynamic weather, just because of the added complexity with the shaders and everything else. So um, yeah, yeah, that's a great question. I've had some other folks asking me about that, but no, not at the moment. All right, so I'm not gonna go and talk to that guy this time, but let me see if I'm hoping um, there's not gonna be an issue with the weapon, like colliding with something. Okay, that should be good there. All right, so there's these guys. They don't do much. Oh, and so that's how the detection works. It's very basic at the moment, you know, pretty much just like in other video games. But so that guy, I think he saw me and he equipped his weapon. As you can see, like this guy had his weapon on. The other guy, now he saw me, so he's gonna equip the weapon and start shooting at me. And so I need to see if I can go about taking him down. This is actually like the first time I've played around with um, and these guys, they actually ran out of bullets. I need to give him a little bit more bullets. But this is like the first time I've actually uh, gone to combat, I guess, uh, with the enemies. And this guy is stubborn. This guy doesn't want to go down. This guy was kind enough to do that, but not this guy. Oh, there he goes. He he finally chillaxed. All right, so oh, there's an issue. I need to get the little detection markers to hide after the guys are done. But as far as the as you can see, like the edges of the screen, you know, kind of start lighting up red. So that's how I'm showing the damage that the player takes. And when it comes to the when it comes to the missions, you saw that little thing that pops up on the corner of the screen. And that's how it would be like one of those, I mentioned it earlier if you just joined. It'd be like like a Google Glass type of thing, you know. So it let me refresh my streaming window here because it was lagging behind. Uh, yeah, and let's see if we can also go for a quick swim here. Yeah, so this is kind of how you inspect the weapon. I wanted to show it again because I kind of like it. All right, so, and this is a good test to see if I can still swim. I think I can. There we go. But I need to unequip the weapon when you go into swimming. So once you're in swimming, if you point the mouse down, you're gonna start diving. And if you know, look up, you're like above the water. So there he goes. Uh, oh, one thing that I haven't tried yet is actually if I can mantle from from swimming. Oh, I guess I can't. Huh. Okay. So I can't mantle while I'm swimming. That's fine. I wasn't expecting it was kind of a wild thought that I would try it. But we can exit on this side. But yeah, I need to unequip the weapon when you're not when you're swimming, like when you enter the water. All right, so I'll just take you around the town area for a little bit, and so a couple of the missions are going to start in this area here, where you're going to need to enter one of these apartments. Whoops, oh, I still need to fix some of the collisions on these stairs. So what happens is some of the baddies in town, you know, they've blocked access to a lot of these apartments, so they're blocked with these kind of code um, code locked type of you know, door immobilizers. So I wanted to make them a little bit more techy, just because. And then of course inside here, this is kind of how like an apartment, like the interior of an apartment would look like. And that's, you know, outside. And now that I'm thinking of it, Oh, the effect injury is taking for so long because I haven't addressed that yet, and you're gonna need to find something to like a like a piece of food or something like that. Like if you think of um, I'm not sure, like let's call like Wolfenstein or something like that. When your health drops, you need to pick something up to replenish the health. So yeah, and this is like the longest I've actually like played the game, to be honest. So thank you so much for asking. So this is one of the interiors where one of the missions is going to be. I'm not gonna exit through there, but let's go out the main door here. All right. So this is just kind of an apartment, some apartments here, like the motel, a series of buildings. Oh, hey, what are you doing there, the guy? Forgot about you. I need to do something about that. Um about this little blue dot thing there, yeah, red thing, and also maybe remove these traces. Oh yeah, and if you don't have the weapons, you can also. Oh no, I can't. Oh come on, really? I um I did not think of my life. Just like on the side there, it was printing out how much life I had left, and I've taken some damage. Let's see. So. So yeah, storyteller, thank you so much for asking. This was literally like the longest I've done a run in the game itself. So appreciate you asking about that. But yeah, there's still quite a lot of work still to be done. So I am hoping to get at least this initial part of kind of just a really pre-alpha type of thing for people to try it out and see how it performs. I still have quite a lot of performance optimization to be done with this. Hopefully, it's just gonna run better than what you were able to see at the moment. But yeah, so hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea. Um, oh, I forgot. I did wanted to show you if I was to run this in an actual like game mode, like how it would start. So I can show you that as well. Let me see. Where did I put that? It's not in dev. It's for production. All right. So this is kind of how the game would actually start. With the plane sequence. And so okay, the main menu would load just like at the beginning of any game. So let's start campaign. You get the loading screen. And let me also turn on the audio through OBS. Actually, I think it's turned on, so hopefully I'm not blowing anybody's headphones, speakers out. Okay. Yeah, so I did not want to do this here, but once you start, you're kind of in an airplane. Now you kind of towards the end of the spline, like your flight sequence, so you can kind of look around a little bit. And so when you jump out of the airplane, you kind of like you fall to the ground. And I think I was still in debugging, so it's not. Yeah. So basically, once you fall down, you sort of pass out from the fall, and then you get this little note at the bottom, press space bar to get up. So once you get up, you're gonna have this one guy over here. That's gonna, my apologies for that little debug there. So this is really how it would start, right? So you would fall down, um, and you get this first guy here that he's like waving at you, and he's also saying, you know, hey, over here, hey, come on. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Let's see. So I think you should be able to hear it. Okay. Yeah, so he's like waving at you. And then I just need to regenerate the audio at the moment because I've changed some of the text. So once you get the tablet, you can press Q to show it, and then Q to hide it, basically. So it would kind of look like this. And so if you think of it like you know, one of those helicopter headphones, headsets type of thing, or like a in my mind was like a just a headset that's got like a little it's got this little tablet or like this little projection hologram thing. If you think of like the heads-up display in a car, you know, kind of in that way. And you can hide it or unhide it, and it's going to display the current mission. The way I originally had it was you would pick it up with your hand, you know, kind of it would be something that's equipped. And let me turn down the audio from the world. Not sure if it was too loud, but so you would actually look at it with, you know, using your hand, and that kind of took away from you when you actually have a weapon equipped. And I decided to just kind of try and go this way, you know, with this little device here. And I kind of like the fact that it's a device because, like an actual 3D object, because it takes away from like the lighting in the world. So, and that way it also gives a little bit more immersion that way, you know. So if it's like, um, you know, once you go outside, you know, it's got all the reflections going on it, where if it was just a UI widget, it wouldn't have that. Malicious Munch, hey, how are you? Have you tried any, is that the Unreal Engine Fortnite um, adaptation of Unreal? And if that's what it is, I have not tried it. Uh, okay. Well, so the storyteller, if you're still around, hopefully that gives you a little bit of details of you know, very basic of what where this is at currently. The map itself is you know, this whole bunch here, this area, the playable area. It's about 2 by 2 kilometers, not very big, so trying to keep it manageable. But yeah, malicious, I have not tried that yet. I just didn't, you know, there's only so much time in the day, right? Um, okay, so with that said, let's finish off this little parking lot. I wanted to go for another uh, you know, 15, 20 minutes, and after that I got a ton of shoveling to do, which is gonna be fun. But yeah, oh man, I hate this thing. It's like there. Okay, hopefully that goes away. There it goes. All right. So malicious, have you tried it? Have you tried UEFN? I'm curious what people think about it. If um, that'll be your exercise for the, I think it's gonna be the exercise for the whole weekend, and I think next week is not looking any better either, unfortunately. But you know, you got to look up for your health. So if you live in the northern part of the U.S., shoveling is one part to keep in keep your exercise up. Oh, it's airing. Huh. No, actually, I haven't tried it. Just I think it's more of since I've never had any interest in Fortnite. Maybe that's one of the reasons that I never really um, uh, checked it out, so to speak. Arm curls with the remote and phone. It's um, it's much better than doing arm curls with like ice cream and the like. Not that that is a bad exercise, but oh, hey, Seven Giants. Yeah, I think Fortnite is a huge amount of work. I'll have to say. I mean, I've seen videos and like the amount of stuff they have going on in there. Yeah, Fortnite is a lot. I mean, they done quite a lot for that, and to become like I think it's like the most popular game out there. Uh, that's something. Do you play Fortnite, Seven Giants? All right, let me do this one on this side as well, like that. There it goes. Oh yes, yes, I've seen the previews for that. It looks something else, I have to say. I mean that uh it is I mean it's a lot of work that went into that. But I think one thing to note is that uh we've been duped before by, flashy trailers. I hope this is not the case, but and as somebody that doesn't I think I've played like a really old Metal Gear Solid, and I really enjoyed it. The one thing that I'm hoping is for people that are like, diehard fans of the series, that they're gonna stay true to it. Um, yeah. All right, let's also do the corners over here. I hope I can make it work with this piece. And then we'll play around with sculpting the terrain. That should look pretty all right. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really cool. Like I remember really enjoying that game, even though it was I don't know, like very very long time ago. But but I do remember enjoying it quite a lot. All right, this thing is coming together, I think. Okay, let's flip it around like that. And maybe I don't even need this. I can just go with placing one item like this. So trying to keep this in this space here as best as I can. I might have to like finagle the corners, but you know, I think once we do the terrain sculpting, it should I should be able to cover these all right. And you know, painting a little bit of, you know, also having the vegetation on top should take care of it. All right, so we got some of the corners. So let's just gonna do this. I'm gonna try and position it a little bit better first. And I've cut this level down from I think it was like 160 or so actors to maybe 10, which is pretty good. I mean, a little bit more than 10, maybe like with these, it goes up to 13, 14. All right, so now let me try and position this. Uh, position the level so we can do some sculpting. All right. So when is this supposed to come out, James? Do you know? Oh yes, I've seen a preview in the State of Unreal, but I haven't seen like the actual like the full trailer. But that thing looked incredible. Like I was like, is this really done with Unreal? Because it just yeah, it kind of you know just a little clip of it. I was like, wow, this thing is you know next level. Let's try and like mask where these kind of touch like that. You know, using some vegetation here. All right, that is. definitely coming together, I think. I'm not sure why. I guess I needed to edit the level one more time for the placement for these to take spot. So let me fix some of the sculpting with the grass going onto the sidewalk. Wait, it's gameplay? I thought why did I think that's like a series? It's a video game. That's something else. I thought it was they made like a series for like Marvel Studios or something. Wow, that's cool. Whoa, yeah. That should be interesting. Cause yeah, that trailer looked nuts. I mean, it was something else. Excuse me. Okay, so that's quite all right. We've got some vegetation going around here. Let's try and remove this kind of contact line there. We'll see if I can bring this up a little up, further. There we go. That's a little bit better. And having the vegetation come on top of it should help with this kind of contact line between them. Okay, that's starting to look more like a parking lot, I would say. There's still some little bits and ends over here. See if we can make this right. There it is. Okay, that's better. And let's try back in here to adjust these kind of curb placements and with some of the decals as well. Oh shoot, these guys got all sorts of different angles. I did a little bit of a there we go. Let's just make these a little taller, I guess. Too bad I have to do them one at a time. Apparently selecting multiples and scaling that does not work out so well. There we go. Uh, do the gaps under where the terrain won't meet affect the collision? Um, so let me put these in place and I'll hide the level to see. I hope I understand what you're asking, but once give me 1 second. I just need to place these like that. sure if there's anything else under here. I think that was it. Yeah, so yeah, so the I'm sculpting the level around it basically. So for example, if I was to, let me just commit the changes to this. So if I was to hide this, yeah, it's kind of just a hole, right? Um, that's that's basically how it is. And everything relies on the collisions of the meshes, right? So we got this as a box collision. They all have just box collisions. And so yeah, if you were to look at the player collision, so see this is kind of how the collision is. This one, I think because it's a blueprint actor, I'm not sure why it doesn't show collision, but this one should have collisions as well. And this one I'm gonna remove because um, it's pretty bad. I don't need all these extra actors just for one thing. But yeah, I mean the gaps in here would probably be affected because this section is not finished. Like right here. I still need to sculpt that out. But around the corners, and I can show you. Let me jump into game mode real quick, and I can quickly show you how that would be. Where is my start? I need to find you. Where are you? Start. There it goes. Here. Hey, Gitish, welcome, welcome. All right, so let me move this guy over here. Hopefully, I think that section is a little lower. I mean, higher. Oh, and I forgot, I need to make this so it's in dev mode. All right, let's take a look. All right, so we're loading. Let me close a few things. Maybe we can get a little bit better, squeeze a little bit more performance out of this rig. All right, so yeah, this is how it looks. Like like I'm standing around on top of that, and then around here, and then just like going onto the ground and the road. So malicious munch, hopefully that gives you an idea of what I do for this. Let's just go to one of these huts in the woods over here. See what we got going on there. I mean, I know right now there's nothing going on, but we'll just take a walk. Just to kind of see how the lighting inside here looks. That's quite all right. Check it out back here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Gitish. So I am working on. I'm not sure if you heard any of that. Because let me jump into game again, and I'm gonna bring up the desktop audio on OBS. Okay, so guys, hopefully it's just not gonna be too loud. I'm not bumping it too much, but hopefully you get to hear like the kind of the forest ambience and the footsteps, because it's based on like a surface, right? So each surface is can be like gravel, wood, what have you, metal, and each one of those has a different type of sound. Malicious Mush, let me know if there is any audio now. Okay. Uh, this surface right now doesn't have a concrete assigned to it, but the road should. Let me go up on the road. So let's see. I think the mulch, like the forest, might have a sound like a surface. If I'm not mistaken, I am mistaken. I guess I need to assign a surface for each one of the landscape layer. There is no sound attached to it at the moment. So let me I think this wood should have it, if I recall correctly. Apparently not. I'm mistaken. Oh, come on. Like this never happened before. What? I went onto the map. I'm not sure why. Oh, I know what it is. This is a bus. So the bus itself is unfortunately under the map. And yeah, I need to fix that. Because the bus itself, so this particular level, um, which is way over there, is so this is where the dam is going to be, right? So under here, but it's missing some pieces, and one of them is that bus, and it's that bus uh, has its wheel positioned on the surface below it. So basically, I can rotate the wheels, angle the bus if I want to, and I don't have to mess with the wheels. The wheels will just get placed themselves through a line trace. So yeah. Um, Let me see. I thought there was somebody else. There was another question. Did I miss it? Oh yeah. Malicious. Yeah, I'm a solo dev. I just like the name of the game, on your own. I am on my own. At least when it comes to working on this game. But yeah, let me actually I can show you, I hope. Maybe since we're here, I'll take a little few more minutes of your day of let me see about assigning material surface, because let me see if I recall correctly. Where do you do this? I will have to look because I cannot. Oh, I know where it is. My bad. So it's under, it's in here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's under the grass layer. So this one. So each one of these layers, if let's see, am I recalling this correctly? Should have a physical material. So this is going to be, let me see, what do I have? It's not PM, it's, what is it? So I'm trying to look for the physical material here. Hopefully I'm not going to crash the engine. Yikes. Oh, okay, need to save. I need to save. Does the bus follow you around, or was that really lucky? I think it was just really lucky. I think when I did the mantling, that's when um, that's when it complained. I'm not sure why. I'd like to figure out why, but okay. So it's saving the map. It's at 50% and it's stuck. Hopefully that doesn't mean it's gonna crash, because you never know. Oh yes, yes, indeed. I actually have a bunch of packages from GDC, like some Sonus packages and Yeah, when it comes to audio, audio for this for the world, I do have quite a bunch of stuff. So let's see. This is gonna be grass. All right, so there's grass. Let's see what else. Let's do mulch. This is gonna be some kind of gravel, I think, maybe. Let's see, what can we use for mulch? Maybe this ground. I'm not sure exactly what I have for that physical material for sound. But yeah, this would be a quick uh, test and the stream to make sure that the surface, the terrain itself, also has some sounds to it. And I keep on double clicking that layer. I'm not sure why, but all right. So this one's gonna be the dirt, and this one should maybe like a gravel kind of thing. Yeah, I think this is a gravel physical material. That should work. Hey, Gatish. I'm not sure. I think it if I it, it I think usually it was ending this weekend. I think it was this week that it was running. But yeah. All right. And this cliff layer is gonna have some rock, maybe. Do I have it here? Let's do. I'm gonna use gravel also. It's kind of rocky surface. Oh, and I haven't actually tested this out in a while. Uh, but a while back, I was playing around with the, and let's save it. I was playing around with the water surface and kind of when a bullet impacts the water, and it was actually a really cool effect that I had in place. So let me see if if I can get that to happen again. It's the water. I'm not entirely sure, so we'll see. Okay, let's try this out. And I forgot I don't have a weapon to test the water impact, but yeah, let's see how this looks. Apologies if it's too loud, let me know. No, I do not. It's if I'm not mistaken, I just need to assign it to the it's a landscape material. It's like the what is it? The layer info for that material. So let's see. So that's how it sounds like. Yeah, just a layer. Exactly. Oh, and there it goes again. Oh man, what's going on here? I need to figure out what's going on with that because it seems like when I mantle in that area, when I try to like climb over something, it resets me back to this particular point. And this is, I think this is at like 0, 0 where this one is, or maybe not. It's not. Hmm. Okay. I'll have to figure out why it's doing that. That's an interesting little error. Um, but yeah, it's in just the layer info. That's it. Okay, well, I'm guessing these could also I could also not go into this billboard LOD this early for these little trees, like these little saplings. So that could make it look a little bit better. Um, all right. Well, guys, I think I usually try to keep it around right around 2 hours for the stream, and the snow is starting to kind of slow down a little bit, so I might, you know, put my back into gear and get to do some shoveling. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope it was something interesting to watch. You know, happy that people chat on the stream on the chat in the stream. And yeah, really happy to have you guys. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll usually, schedule it. Not sure if people get notified if I schedule it, or you need to that bell notification thingamabob needs to be turned on. But yeah, happy to have you guys. And I also post in a Discord. So if you're on Discord, I posted there. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday morning, wherever you might be. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.